Hi, this is Kevin Miller from Solve3D. So this is a quick video on a continuation of the kind of different user permissions and how to interact with different features within Engine. So in this video, I wanted to talk about a sort of a weird little intermediate, not weird, but intermediate hybrid user type. Is called we'll call it a project administrator. So in this case, this type of user has access to projects inside of the Engine Cloud. Um, maybe they want to do some user management and manage who has access to the project. They can still do all the same things that standard users and view-only users can do, obviously, but they have a bit of extra elevated permissions on interacting with the projects, some of the project settings. So um, in this case, you probably already have an account to the system. I mean, people get invited the same way. I'll show that in a second. But, once you log in, you'll see any projects you have access to. So in this case, I made a new user account and gave it special admin permissions just on one project. And you see here in the project card, if you notice here, there's a couple extra icons. So there's things saying that, like this LRT route project, anonymous view only is enabled, and there's some settings. I can also choose, I have administrator permissions. I can choose to delete this project completely if I want. So you got to be careful. Give this type of permission only to people that you trust. So in this view, I can click this title and jump right into the project. I can see all the same bookmarks and tags and everything, do all that same functionality just like before. But let's jump back to home. I can go into settings by clicking this little settings icon. And in here, you're going to see under the users tab, you're going to see all the users that have access to this project. So since I've been making lots of videos, I have different user types of different things, but I can choose if I want, here's me at the bottom, I can choose if I want to make different people have different permissions. So I can choose to say, hey, this standard user I created before, I want to make them an administrator now. I just click that little toggle, it flips over, and now they're an administrator. They can do the same things that I can do, but let's change that back. I can also remove them from the system by just clicking this delete. I can invite new users, so I can call this, type in their email. The system is a little tricky. Once I type in the email, I got to hit enter, and now I can type in, user2 at whatever.com and type enter, and so I can have a whole bunch of lists of people. We are enhancing this to allow more of a CSV type support as well, so that'll be coming soon. But yeah, basically type in the user, hit enter, and then you just simply click send invites. And in a second here, you'll see my new users appeared at the bottom, and then I can choose to make them an administrator if I want. They're going to get an email, just like I was showing in the previous videos, of how to create their account and set it up in the system. So that's all good. And additionally, under settings here, there's only one setting right now. There's probably going to be a whole bunch added shortly here, but this is where you control that anonymous view only access. So say so it's turned on right now. Previous administrator turned it on, but I could choose to turn it off, and now only people that have been invited on this user tab can access that project. Otherwise, if you go turn this back on, anyone who has this direct link, say you sent it in Teams, then they can access the project. So this this administrator user type is a good kind of intermediate step for that project administrator. That's just, you want to be able to manage the users in the system and control, kind of give that further flexibility in the project. And then later I'll talk about some special user types that once you have copies of Solved Engine licensed on your computer, you can start to interact and move around with that or change some of the data in the project. So things like add new point clouds or add more panoramics. So just to be clear, this type of administrator user is just for basically a user management type of administrator user. Again, I encourage you to go to our support portal, solve3d.com/support, register there and take a look at those videos and documentation, and feel free to reach out to us at our on that page as well if you have any further additional questions. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.